In this video, I want to show you how you can work with your Enterspeed schemas and the CLI to have your schemas in your own version control. This way you can create release branches and have all the changes to your Enterspeed schemas as well as the changes that you have for, let's say, your website in one single commit or pull request. So before we start, if you already have an existing tenant with existing schemas, we first want to clone all these schemas down to a local environment, and also you want to extract a deployment plan. If you're starting on a new tenant, you can just skip this step. So let's do Enterspeed CLI, schema, clone. That will start the clone command. And if we look at our project folder here, we now have a schema folder with all the schemas from our tenant. Let's also extract the deployment plan. Extract. And in this case, we want to extract deployment plan from our development environment. Like this. And now we also have a deployment plan up here. And if we look at the deployment plan, it just keeps track of all the schemas that we have and all the versions that are deployed to the development environment. So whenever we make changes to one of the schemas, it will automatically update this deployment plan with a new version. So whenever you want to release from a release pipeline, you can use this deployment plan. So now we're ready to start working on our feature. So if we look up here in the Solution Explorer, we have a folder called Website, and it contains a React and Next.js site. And I have this site running locally, and this is the site. So down here we have a button which says Buy the Book. Right now this text is static, and I want to make it dynamically. So if we go into Enterspeed, look at the source entity and the home node, we can see that I have already prepared the data. So on our source entity, I have a property here called hero CTA caption with the value of get the book. So let's go into our local project here, look at the schemas, and take the home schema here and add that new mapping. So we'll just map the new field here, and I'll just map it to a property of the same name. Like this. And I can save the schema. And now I want to import that schema into Enterspeed. So I can type Enterspeed CLI, schema, import, and the alias is home, and I add a -o for overriding as well. So now the schema has been imported. So if we go into Enterspeed once again for the schemas and look at the home schema, we can now see that we have our new property on our schema. Perfect. So let's go ahead and test if the new mapping actually works. So I can click the button over here, click the test button. We can see the schema is running successfully. And if we can also see here that we have our newly mapped property. So that's also working. The next step will be deploy the schema to our development environment to actually generate a view. So I can type Enterspeed CLI, schema, deploy, and once again home for the alias. And also I want to provide the environment, and that's the development environment I want to deploy my schema to. Oh, that's missing an E here, like this. So now the schema has been deployed, and we're ready to do the changes for the front-end code. So I could go into our home.js view, and here you can actually see that we have the static label of buy the book, and that's what I want to change. So now from our view we have a property called hero CTA caption instead. So let's go ahead and save the view here, and now we can go back to our site, and now it says get the book. So I have now made the changes to our schema as well as to our front-end code. And if we go and look at the changes that we have, so we can see that the deployment plan is updated. Also, we can see that the home JSON view, the home schema is updated, and also the home.js view is updated. So I have all my changes in one single commit. I hope you find this video useful. I've here included a link to our written article about the same topic, keeping schemas in version control. And I also added a link to our general developer setup guide.